In our last 3 sessions, we discussed a letter from a woman who had been sexually abused as a child by her grandfather, now dead, and her neighbor. I helped her see how empty and afraid these men had been, though still terribly wrong. And I suggested that she not focus on her sexual abuse as a special injury, but see it as a lack of real love, the real wound we all feel. Now back to the writer of the letter. Now remember, I said that it's true that you were victimized. We all are. But there's a huge difference between being victimized and feeling and acting like a victim. If I have only $2 in all the world and you take $2 from me, I'll probably feel victimized. If I have $20 million, however, and you take $2 from me, just like you did the first time, you will still have victimized me in the same way as before. But I won't feel victimized, will I? It turns out that I have a choice about whether I feel and act like a victim. I always have a choice. No matter what you do to me, I can choose how I feel. Now, if I have no real love in my life, I won't see that I have a choice. I won't. I won't be able to make a loving choice. No, I'll feel like a victim. If I don't feel loved, I'll feel like a victim every time. But if I feel sufficiently loved, and if I am sufficiently loving, no matter what you do to me, I will be able to choose to be loving in return. And that is the ultimate power in all the universe. It really is. And that is the power you want to have in your life. You do not want to waste any more time in your life or any more energy feeling hurt or being angry. In fact, every time you think about what was done to you and you feel hurt or angry, you are the one perpetuating this wound. You're the one victimizing you, not them. Now, I emphasize that I'm not saying you have no right to be angry. You have a right to stick your head in a toilet too, but why would you want to? I'm just saying that being angry will destroy your life. So why do it? Being angry at somebody is like taking poison yourself and expecting the other person to die. Your anger will bring you only unhappiness. So why make that choice? Partly you can avoid that awful choice by realizing the emptiness of the men who hurt you, as we've discussed. But there's another important step yet to make. As I've said, the primary problem in your life is a lack of real love. The abuse was simply the way you were not loved. What you need now is to get the love you haven't had all your life. As you get enough real love, your emptiness will disappear and your wounds will heal. Read all the real love books you can. Watch the DVDs and the video material on the website. Spend time on the phone and in person with all the wise men and women you can find. Learn how to tell the truth about yourself, and bit by bit, you will create opportunities for these wise men and women to accept and love you for who you really are. That will require you to tell the truth about yourself, not just about your wounds. You'll need to choose a few trusted people you can talk to about your whole life, not just about the times you were hurt. If you talk only about your injuries, you'll tend to get sympathy, not real love. You need to be loved while telling the truth about your mistakes and flaws, not just when describing your wounds, which are only a small part of you. Talk about the times you have been selfish, angry, unloving, and dishonest, just like the rest of us are. Talk about the times you've used all the getting and protecting behaviors. As you do that, you'll create opportunities for people to love you unconditionally. You don't have to tell everything about yourself all at once, but make a start and then keep going. Initially, you might feel uncomfortable talking to members of your family, for example. So You might talk first to other people who don't know your grandfather or neighbor. If you're persistent, you will find people to love you. Now, what should you do about your grandfather and your neighbor? We'll talk about that in our next session.